Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. We are live on the YouTubes and also across on Facebook. We are now officially live. Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to a Sunday session. This is Beyond Authentic, where we go beyond the mundane to tell you all about authentic witchcraft. Tonight, we will be doing some tarot readings. So, yeah, if you are here for that, you do need to come across onto the YouTubes. We can't do tarot readings on Facebook. So if you are wanting a reading, you do need to come across to YouTube. Now, you do need to be a subscriber to be able to comment. And the, actually, I've just realized slow mode and commenting mode, subscriber only mode aren't actually on. So you do need to be a subscriber, and you do need to have subscribed at least 5 minutes before you are able to comment. So yeah, that is a thing. That's the house rules. If you are watching this over on Facebook, hello, good evening. You are very welcome to watch. We love having you. However, you won't be able to ask a question on Facebook because we don't have the moderators over there to be able to do that, unfortunately. So you would need to come across to the YouTubes to come and do that. So let me just make sure that we've got subscribe. No, you see, it was set. Honestly, I set subscriber mode and slow mode. I did set them both up when I set the stream going, but obviously YouTube has just unset them, if that makes sense. Yes. Right then. So, wow, we've got a few people here already. Good evening to Renata. Oh my God, I was going to message you, my darling. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are well. Oh, I've missed you, Renata, my friend. I really, really have. Cosmic Miss, you can ask a question, but you do need to be a subby over here on the YouTubes. The questions will open, the list will open a little bit later, 7:15 here in the UK. So in about 10 minutes time, we will open the list for the readings. How we do it now is we have two lists effectively. We open up a limited number of readings at first, and we'll take those. Brain, hold on a second. Right, what you need to do, if you want a reading, if you are on Facebook, I can see some messages coming up on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you need to come across to the YouTubes, please, because we only have moderators on the YouTube. So the channel is Beyond Authentic. It is spelled exactly the same way as on Facebook. So make sure you pop across to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and then wait for 5 minutes before you're able to comment. But if you go and do that now, you'll be able to ask a question when it opens at 7:15. Okay, so in 10 minutes time. So we do have some house rules. If you want to ask a question, you do need to put the word question followed by your question, and then that will get picked up by one of the lovely Spanner squad, our moderators here on Beyond Authentic. Our chief spanner tonight is the lovely Anita. She's our major spanner. Good evening to Anita. So yeah, she'll pick up that message and pass it across to me. And then when we start the readings, I will go through that list. And then a little bit later, if we've got time, we'll open the list up again. Oh, excuse me. And we'll do some more readings. That's how it works here on Beyond Authentic. So then, how is everybody? I do hope you are all having a lovely week, actually. I hope you've had a lovely weekend so far. Bear with me. I'm just trying to sort my my phone out to see where the notifications have gone out. But unfortunately, my phone has decided that it does not want to connect to the interwebs for some reason. So that's always useful. So yes, hello. How is everybody doing? I'm hoping I'm still connected. Yeah, the questions haven't yet opened yet, Cosmic Miss. They'll open in about 10 minutes time. 10 minutes time. So good evening. I do hope you are all well today. Hello, Kelly, my darling. Afflicted Beauty is here in the chat. I should be pulling up messages. There we go. Look, there's Afflicted Beauty in the chat. Let me just see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Is it that one? That's the big one. There we go. Yeah, Kelly's here in the chat. Neil is here. Good evening, Neil. I hope you are well, my friend. I really, really do. Hi, everyone. We'll be watching whilst finishing the latest issue of the fanzine. Yay! Another issue of Necronomicon. Hold on. Look, if you don't know what we're talking about. La, 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 Necronomicon. So this is the best the best 80s horror fanzine. It's literally like it's like a trip down memory lane via the backstreet VHS rental library that you had back in the day. Back in the day, the VHS rental shops. You had Blockbuster, then you had your little local independents, and Necronomicon is kind of like going through the horror section of the old VHS thingy. Yeah, it's amazing. Even if I do say so myself, because Neil is a friend. So yeah, if you want to check it out, do have a little look see on Etsy. Just type in Necrozine or Necro Neil, and you'll find Neil, and you can go and pick up some back issues. But there is a new one coming. Yay. The messages will be few, but you're here anyway. Thank you very much. Thank you, Neil. I just there's a new Necronomicon coming out. That's always the highlight. That is the highlight. A new Necronomicon. Yay, I'm happy about that. So if you don't know, me and Neil do a podcast. We weren't able to do it last month, but it will be back at some point in December. It's called Witchy Wednesday With, and it is a monthly podcast where we talk about witchcraft and stuff. Talk about all sorts of stuff. The first one is up on their SoundCloud, and there is also on YouTube as well, the video version. So if you want to watch it, I will. In fact, I wonder if one of the, can I do it? I might be able to do it from here. Oh, I've still got my YouTube up. That was lucky, isn't it? Right, hang on a second. Let me go into, no, that's not what I want to do. Professional here. Right, so what I'm going to do is I will post the link to it, there we go, in the chat. So if you do fancy going and listening, it's 48 minutes, nearly 49 minutes long. It's a podcast where me and Neil basically discuss our friendship, but also we discuss lots of things magical. It's a meandering magical podcast, we call it. So yeah, if you do fancy watching that, then the link is now. Is it? Yay! The link's in the chat. Yay! That is on the Facebook link as well, so you're able to go over and have a little look. So then, everybody, I don't know how you've all been. Let me just see if I can get this sodding thing up on my phone, because it's still not wanting to allow me to connect. So yeah, I'm assuming that notifications have gone out by now. I don't know. I hope they have. By the way, do you like Anita? Do you like my? Do you like the look today? Do you like the makeup? It should be Anita approved. That's the thing. It's very Anita in my mind. You see, Anita in my mind. It's very neutral neat. That's what this is. Good evening to Belinda Chapman. Hello. Good evening, one and all. Good evening, my darling. How are you, Belinda? I hope you are feeling very, very well. I did see on their Instagram that Anita has not quite been snowed in, but you were properly winter wonderlanding, weren't you, earlier on today, Nee? It was, or was that yesterday? I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? We had the snow. Well, if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see how I fared. Oh, what have I missed? What have I missed already? Hang on. What? Oh gosh, right. Hang on a second. Sort yourself out, my goddess, and God support me. Oh, fantastic. Oh, my darling, you had a crisis of faith for quite some months, but now I have sorted myself out. My goddess and God support me. And that's why it snowed today in Leeds. Oh, I love the fact that it snowed today in Leeds. Oh, I'm sorry I missed that, Renata. How did I miss that? Cosmic Miss, the questions will be open in about 5 minutes' time, my darling. I'm glad you're back then, Anita. Hi, Pallavi. I am glad you are back. Anita, sorry, Renata, I am glad you're back. I'm glad you found some sort of spiritual connection again. I'm burning a white taper candle today behind me on the altar. And yeah, it happens, doesn't it? It does happen where you almost lose touch with yourself and your spirituality, and you kind of have to like reconnect, and it's almost like recharging, isn't it? Well, for me it is anyway. For me, that's how it feels. So yeah, this is really going to annoy me. There we go. Is that going to sit there? No, it's going to fall. Never mind. Right, how is everybody? What are we up to this evening? What are you all drinking? I have a very loose bra on, actually, and everything feels a bit jiggly today. But anyway, never mind. I am drinking my Tutti Frutti Blend packed coffee. Oh, it's so delicious. Oh, gosh, and I need it today. It is very, very cold here in that there Leeds. It's very cold. Patricia Lomas. Hello, Patricia, my darling. Good evening from a cold, snowy Chesterfield. Hope everyone is staying safe and warm. I am definitely staying safe. Warm, I'm not so sure about, but my temperature this last 3 weeks, I am in a pretty crappy, to be fair, fibro flare up. And basically what that's meaning is my temperature is going all over the place. I'm really struggling to control my temperature. I'm feeling very, very cold a lot of the time, even when it's not cold at all. And added to that, I can just fall asleep at the drop of a hat. So if I can get through today without sleeping, without crashing on this stream, it will be very good, actually. That'll be very good. Anita, Cosmic Miss, this is the last time I'll ask you to confirm your... Oh, can you confirm your age, please, Cosmic Miss? Yes, I do need to say that Anita, our moderator du jour tonight, Anita is... Well, she's our major spanner, so she is like in charge. She tells me what to do. I know, right? She is the power behind the throne, or whatever the words are, whatever the saying is. Anyway, what she said, what she does is she will ask all the questions that when I'm reading, I'm not able to ask. Okay, so we need you to confirm your age. We need you to confirm, you know, all of what. No, it's not like Psychic Sally, where they get you to confirm their story and then she's on stage and she's got somebody in an earpiece go. Allegedly, by the way, allegedly, she's got someone in an earpiece going, row C, seat 5, just divorced. And she goes, oh, someone over here, just divorced. Ooh, what's that? And a taxi from the train station, car 7. Have you got a pickup? What? Yeah, like that. Allegedly, in my opinion, but allegedly. Yeah, so it's not that, but Anita will ask the questions that I can't ask when I'm reading. So if Anita asks you a question, please answer her. Otherwise, your question won't get passed to me because she is in charge of all of that. She has the power. She has the authority. When Kirsty's not here, Anita runs that. And Anita even tells Kirsty what to do because Anita is our boss. But anyway, we need it. Everybody needs an Anita in your life. Trust me, you do. You need an Anita in your life. But basically, if she asks you a question, please answer. Or if any of the moderators, any of the spanners ask you a question, please answer because they're doing it on what I've asked, basically. We've got some house rules. They're running across the bottom of the screen. And also the moderators' jobs here on the YouTubes is to keep everybody safe and to keep everything a nice, friendly, warm, respectable chat zone. That's what we want. So thank you very much. Anita's got the power. She has. She's got the touch. She's got the power. That was Transformers from back in the day. Renati, you're drinking a mix. What? No, you're not a mix. You're drinking a hot chocolate with your own pumpkin spice mix and ginger syrup. Funny you should say that. I've got some gingerbread syrup. A little bit cheated, but a little gingerbread syrup in here as well, which Rufus picked me up from, I don't know, somewhere. I think he got it on eBay or Amazon or somewhere. But it's absolutely, it's so delicious. It's so warming. I love it so much. Necroneil, 60-mile-per-hour winds up here in unnamed land. The roof was Mexican waving, but pretty exciting. No snow. We had snow, and we've also got the first ever picture of little Eddie going out in the snow for the first time. He kind of walked out, and just outside our front door there's like a few paving slabs, which is where they, in the winter time, that's where they all do their wheeze, because they run in, run out, run in, run out, rather, you know what I mean. Anyway, so he basically went out, and there was just this little patch of like not quite thawed out icy, like where the snow had laid, and then it had all kind of thawed, and there was just this little patch, and he was like, oh. And he put his paw on it, and then he took his paw off, and he was like, oh, and you could see him going, that's cold. What is this? And he nudged it with his nose. And then he was like jerking back, going, oh, that's really cold on my nose. And then he went round the back and played with the girls. And so there's just like, we got some pictures of him in the snow. It was so cute. Yes, I am a new fur mummy. So yes, I am a new fur mummy. So that basically means that, you know, there's going to be lots of pictures and that all over the Instagram. So yes, we did get some snow. We also got a bucket load of wind. I had to go and sort out all the blooming plant pots that were all spread all over the garden. Ridiculous. Anyway, we all report to Major Neat. We do. Absolutely, Kelly. Absolutely. Let me just check. What was it? You finished getting the wee ones into bed. It's very cold here, but we've only had a wee drizzle. Have you only had a wee drizzle? That's so bad. I'm so sorry. You were drinking tea. Oh, hold on, Anita. What's this? You have a glossy confession. Right, hold on, everybody. We're going to pause the tarot just before the list opens. What's the glossy confession? Have you signed up for Glossybox? Have you signed up for Glossybox, Anita? Because I'm thinking about Look Fantastic. I know, I don't need any more. I've just cancelled Rockerbox. But I'm thinking about it. Maybe next year. So go on then, what's your Glossybox confession? I bet you've signed up for like a deal or something, haven't you? I bet you have. Patricia Lomas, I've spoken to you. Right, I think we're all caught up. Pallavi is definitely here. I've seen Pallavi in the chat as well. So yes, I think I am caught up in the chat. Am I caught up in the chat? Jessica Ryan is here. Jessica, I'm not sure. I'll have to check with Anita as to when you had your last reading, because I need to double check that. Enchantress, is that right? Enchantress, yes, Enchantress. You're new here. I hope you get a chance. Absolutely, my darling. You will need to ask a question in a little bit. As your side note about the snow was answered shortly after your ritual today, I went for a long walk in Roundhay Park. That's why you needed the hot chocolate. Oh, my darling. Oh, I'm so glad you're getting answers. I love that. I love that so much. You have been very, very missed. You have been very, very missed, my darling. We've said a couple of times on the last couple of live streams that if we didn't see you today was your last chance before I started harassing you on that there Instagram and Facebook, going, Renata, are you okay? Are you okay? So yes, right then, we are 5 minutes late already. Sorry, Nate. We are 5 minutes late, but we are about to open. Where's my hold on, there we go. I've got my schedule. I've still not put it on a whiteboard because it's on here. So why do I need it on a whiteboard? Do you know what I mean? This is organization. So then, right, I think it is time that we get the question list open for this evening. You bought the advent calendar. What? It was reduced to 50 quid. Jesus Christ, I want one. Oh, I don't need it, but I want one. But I don't need it. But I really do want one. I haven't got an advent calendar this year. I know, I had 2 last year. I haven't got one this year, largely because I've got so many products. But yes, anyway, let's crack on with the tarot portion. The advent calendar is not bad, to be fair, Anita. The advent calendar isn't bad. If you'd said that you'd signed up for a full year, then I would have been like questioning your sanity, to be absolutely fair. Good evening to Deej. Thank you, my darling. Deej is here. The questions are... The deal is still on. Get one. I would do, but I'm live streaming right now. Oh, gosh. Right then, let's get going. Sorry, everyone. I just bashed that microphone, didn't I? Right then, let's get going tonight. We are going to open the list very, very, very shortly. Jaswinder Bala. Hello, my darling. How are you? I am fine. How are you, Jaswinder, my darling? Deej, there you are. There's Deej saying hello. I just realized I didn't put people's pictures up. Enchantress, you're 24. Thanks. That's a good age to be. Right then, it is, it's not coffee and makeup, is it? That's a Thursday. That's the other channel. This is Sunday session. Let's press the magic button and get the Sunday session officially underway. Yes, indeed. It is free free tarot readings. The list is now officially open, I believe. Is that right? Has that just popped up on my thing? What does it say? Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Sorry, everyone. It's going to be one of those mornings today. Jaswinder, if you're asking for a question, my darling, you need to put the word question in front of your question before you are able to ask it, just so that it can get picked up and sent across to me via Instagram. That's how we do the readings here on the Sunday sessions. So yes, thank you very much. So then we are opening the reading list. So if you want a question in the tarot, you do need to put the word question in front of your question. You do need to be 18 years of age or over. And importantly, I do have to state that tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life, and tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. If you are looking for support in any of those areas, as always, I recommend that you seek out professional assistance in that particular area. Right then, all of that being said, we are going to go ahead and do some readings this evening. Now, the way I read tarot is a little bit different to a lot of other readers. I am what's called an intuitive tarot reader, which means basically I have been reading the cards for 25 years-ish, slightly more than that now. But anyway, we don't talk about that, because over 25 years, that sounds really scary. That sounds like I should have, you know, grey hair and be like a professor in a university somewhere, where they go, how long have you been doing that? I've been doing this for 24 years, 27 years, 39, 406 years. It's that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But I've been reading for 25 years. I have a very good relationship with the cards that I use. And basically how that works is each of the cards, 78 bits of cardboard, 78 pretty pictures. Each of those cards has a different meaning, depending on the spread that you use. So depending on how you lay them out, depending on whether that card is upright or reversed, all of these things feed into how I read. Other tarot readers will use their own systems or different versions. Now, each tarot card does come with a set of keywords, if you like, which give the general meanings of a tarot card. But for me, a lot of those meanings have changed or shifted over the years. And so what you'll find is the way that I read is going to be different to the way that somebody else reads, even if the same card comes up in the same position. And this is why it's important with tarot, like anything else, to find a reader or find somebody that you resonate with and you connect with on some sort of level, because that absolutely works that way. Okay. So then we will get going in just a little while. I'm just my mouse has decided not to scroll. There we go. That's a little bit better. So then, everybody, the deck I use is the Connolly deck. Jessica, I think you had a reading last week or the week before, my darling, so you won't be able to get one. The way that we're doing it now is that we're doing readings for people about once a month, because otherwise the situation doesn't change enough for me to be able to read. It just is given the same information every single month or every single week. So it literally, Kelly's just popped it there in the chat, look. Please note, everyone, priority will be given to people who haven't had a reading in recent weeks. And then continuously asking the same question, it doesn't allow time for change to happen. Change takes time. It absolutely does. It's one of those things where you can ask for readings, but unless you've taken some steps forward to change some things in your lives, then the situation's going to be pretty much the same. It's like saying, that unless I start controlling what I'm eating, I'm never going to lose, 2 more stone, am I? And it is that thing of, you've got to make some change, and you've got to allow some time for that change to start having an effect. Does that all make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. No, just post once, Enchantress. It will get picked up and sent across to me via Instagram from our lovely Anita. I do have your question in, so I will get to your reading very, very soon. In fact, Enchantress, you'll be the first one up tonight. So then, as I was saying, oh, excuse me. As I was saying, the thank you, Anita. I've got a second question as well, so thank you for that one. The deck I use is called the Connolly deck, and this one it's a lovely deck. It's not classed as a pip deck. So this one, all of the cards have very detailed pictures on, which help me as a reader to interpret the pictures and to show you basically, or to get the insight from the cards. Now, for me personally, I believe that you can be any faith, all faiths, or no faith, and still have a connection to the tarot. So it's nothing that, you know, if you are Christian, you can't do, or if you're Muslim, you can't do, if you're Jewish, you can't. Across the board, whatever religion, or even if you are agnostic or atheist, whatever you believe or don't, tarot will work for you, and that is absolutely fine. So you don't need to worry about that. And the way that I read is quite to the point. Okay, so it is quite to the point. So basically, if you're asking me a question, I will give you the honest, authentic answer. That's all I can do. If you are looking for a particular answer, you're going to want to go to another channel, because the way I read is as honest and as forthright and as sometimes bluntly as I can, so that basically you've got the answer that you need. That's what I try and do. Okay. Otherwise, there's not much point in getting a reading, is there? If we're just going to sit there and go, oh yes, what is it you want? You want that, right? Hang on. Oh yeah, that's going to happen. It's just a waste of everybody's time, isn't it? It really is. Right then, everyone. So we are going to crack off tonight. Crack off. Crack on. Crack with. Crack pepper. We're going to do something anyway. No. Shut up, Lisa. Don't say that. We are. We are going to do something. Right. I do smudge my space before I start. So I have a smudge spray. This is one that is made by Beyond Authentic and available at our shop, which is called Authentic Witch. The witch is spelled with a Y. So if you are wanting some smudge spray, that's where it's available, basically. So I do just smudge a little bit in the room, and I do have a little bell that just brings my guides. I do read with guides. There we go. I do read with guides, and the guides that I use are elemental energies, and they take the form of dragons, if that makes sense. So I'm getting this little box set up, ready for any modifying cards, and we are good to go. Deej, you really want to start a live, but you don't know what to talk about. Basically, it absolutely depends. So obviously this is a tarot live stream, but you've seen the other live stream I do is just a general one, a general one. So yeah, that one, and that's just coffee and makeup. So I just literally drink coffee and put makeup on. So you know, it's all good. Red Cap is here. Good evening, Red Cap. You're putting lots of fluffy animals in the emojis in the chat. Is that a rabbit? We've got 3 rabbits and now 3 giraffes. Is that? I think that's giraffes. So okay. Evening to Red Cap, or as you are officially called on this channel, Sir Matt. Sir Matt of the Red Cap. Yep, absolutely. Good evening. Right then, it is time to start some tarot. Let's get on with it. Let's waffle no more. And Enchantress, I believe that you are up first. So then I'm going to press the magic button and get a little swoopy for a timestamp. We're going to be very busy tonight. I've got a feeling the moderators are going to be doing an amazing job, our Spanish, so please give them a little bit of love in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, please put any of the animal emoji in that Matt's put in. So rabbits or giraffes, apparently. Not quite sure why, but pop those into the comment section if you are here on the replay crew. Right then, everyone, it's time to get this show on the road. Let's get cracking with the knacking. I do that every time. I forget that it doesn't take the little sign down. But anyway, right. So don't forget, everybody, if you are watching this over on Facebook, you are absolutely able to watch this on Facebook, but you won't be able to ask any questions. Patricia, if you're watching this on the TV, hi. I'm looking, Patricia, look at this. Look, I'm gonna have to pull this one up. I'm watching you on TV. Looking good, girl. Cannot see the comments anymore, though. If you're watching it via a PlayStation, you press one of the buttons and it comes up on the live chat. I don't know about other systems, unfortunately. But anyway, Enchantress, can you just say hello? There we go. I've got you. You don't have those emojis, so you put a camel on. That's no problem at all, Enchantress. I've got your message up. So then you are asking, what does Nabil want to offer you? He confessed his feelings, but you're afraid he's just playing, or is he being serious? Right then, so you're wanting to know about Nabil. Okie dokie. So then we're going to invite our dragon guides in. I have 4 dragon guides. Very rarely do we get all 4 in an evening. And as I say, the dragons for me are elemental energy forms that just help with different elements of the cards. So there we go. So it is a romance. It is a romance suit. So normally we would get, oh, Scarlet, but we actually have our little Wispy friend. We've just had a card jump. So if you don't know, Wispy is an air dragon who brings a very cheeky, playful energy with him. So there we go. So we've had a card jump already, which is a modifying card. So this basically gives us a little bit of clarity, a little bit of insight into what the cards are trying to tell us. And your card, Enchantress, is the Fool. So this doesn't mean that you are a fool, but it does mean that you are at the start of a journey with a little bit of innocence there. So maybe this is talking about how you are in terms of, maybe you aren't that experienced in terms of relationships and matters of the heart. The reason I'm saying that, as I say, the Fool is the first of the tarot cards. It's actually the 0 card because it presets, or it predates the rest of the deck. It's basically starting off, taking that initial step on the journey. So yeah, that's why we do that. That just made me smile there. Look, Belinda saying good evening to Wispy. I'm sure Wispy would like me to say good evening back to you, Belinda, my darling. So then, Enchantress, let's shuffle your cards and we will see what Nabil is maybe thinking, or maybe we'll see what you need to be told, because that's just the way the cards go. Sometimes they give us the answer we want, and sometimes they give us the answer we need. So then, what does Nabil want to offer you? He's confessed his feelings, but is he just playing, or is he being serious? I don't know. Let's have a little look, see. Okie dokie, okie dokie. So then, Wispy, what are Nabil's feelings towards Enchantress? What is Nabil playing at, basically? Are they playing, or is he actually being honest about his feelings, and what is going to be the next step? Let's have a little look see. So we're going to do a basic 3-card reading. We're going to cut the deck first. Let me just show you the cut. Here we go. There we go. 1 cut drop. And we have, oh, right. Okay, so then in the past we have materialism. Now, being filtered through the Fool, this is really saying that in the past, I think you've had some really, how can I put this? I think you're, I don't. Look at me, desperately trying to be not kind, but political. So then, Enchantress, have you had a relationship in the past, would be my question, because this card is basically saying, materialism is saying that in your past position you've been tied in with contracts. So this could be a marriage, it could be that you are sort of divorced, or that he is divorced. I'm not quite sure. But this quite often represents ties that bind, so contracts, things being locked into place. Now, yes, the card is called materialism, so it could, well, yes, and it was bad, right? Okay, so this is what this is relating to then. It's relating to your previous relationship, and basically saying that your journey, if you look, the Fool is looking behind. Okay, thank you, Anita. And because the Fool is looking behind, I think that this is something where you are still, even though you are moving forward with a new relationship, you are absolutely kind of looking behind you and maybe feeling, oh, basically, right? Basically, and everybody knows whenever I go basically, it means here we go. This is me stripping it back, trying to take the filter off. So basically, what this is saying, Enchantress, is that you are too busy looking back and thinking about your past relationships, and thinking about and seeing a pattern because of your past relationship, seeing that pattern in your new one. Does that make sense? So basically it's like, I don't know, say that you went on holiday once and you had a paella, right? And you ate the paella and it was the fish in it was off and it made you violently ill, right? And then after that you say, oh, I'm never going to eat paella again. It's not that paella was the problem, it's that chef was the problem. But in your mind you say, oh, I can't possibly have that, because you're going to get poisoned, it's going to be the same. And it's basically what this is saying is that in a relationship, just because you've had bad experiences in the past, just because things have gone bad and gone, you know, even if it's gone spectacularly bad, doesn't mean that that pattern is always going to repeat. It doesn't mean that, you know, the next person you see is going to be as bad. It's like the next time you go to a restaurant, that chef may be able to cook fish without giving you food poisoning. Does that make sense? I know we've gone off on a tangent, but does that make sense? Because it's literally saying, like, keep looking behind you and keep kind of like, keep, if you can't, right, if you constantly look behind you, you are never going to see where you're going in the future. I know, right? It should be on a poster. It should be in white letters on a poster at the bottom with a big black frame and a picture of a forest or something on it. I know, right? Motivational poster from the 2000s. Hi Ed, good evening, my darling. I hope you're well, and I hope Furry Holly Willoughby is doing well. Byron, good evening as well. Good evening, Byron. I hope you're well. Yes, you're taking a leap of faith, absolutely, and I think you will be taking a leap of faith. But also, the problem is, if you've been hurt in the past, it's very easy to look behind you and see and take that energy with you into the future. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, Enchantress. The reason I'm saying that is because in your present card, we've got the Page of Swords. Now, Swords is trouble and strife. Yeah, you're looking back and analysing your mistakes. Well, looking back is great, but looking back is only ever going to do one thing, isn't it? If you keep looking back, you're only going to head in that direction, because you literally, otherwise you will walk into things as you know what I mean. If I'm going that way but I'm looking this way, I'm not going to see the things I'm crashing into. So yeah, now the Page of Swords in your present, now the Page is very youthful energy. The Page is very, very young energy. So it's that naivety that the Fool also brings us. But Page is the trouble and strife suit. So the Page is the suit where it's talking about obstacles and challenges and things like that. So yeah, this is really a card which is saying that at the moment you are feeling, you're feeling vulnerable, right? You're feeling vulnerable, and you're feeling that, right. Basically, here we go again. Basically what it is, right, is that you are feeling vulnerable, and you are allowing your fear to stop you deal with these challenges, right? Because that is it. It's the fear. It is this youthful, that naivety, that innocence, that you are scared of being hurt again, because it is that place where you are like, this is going to happen again. I don't want to get hurt again. Now, it's fine to protect yourself in these situations, and it's fine to look after yourself. But if you are too scared of even ever opening up your heart, you're never going to find a partner. You're never going to be able to move forward and find love, because you're too scared of getting hurt again. And sometimes we need to take that risk. Sometimes we need to open up our hearts in order to, you know, be able to find love. Does that make sense? Am I sounding really soppy, everyone? The future card, the echoes of the future to come, we've got the 5 of Pentacles reversed. Now, this is talking about having a blindfold lifted but not wanting it lifted because it's reversed. So it can talk about career and finances. So there is an element here where it's talking about maybe money. So if there is a career element to how he's feeling, if there's something work related, there's an element of that there. But this is really talking about having that blindfold lifted and you not kind of wanting to face reality yet. Does that make sense? So, right. Okay. So it says, right. Okay. I'm a little bit confused then, Enchantress, because where you said that you are, right, so he's, hang on a second, because in your question, let me just go back to the question. On your question, you said he's confessed his feelings, but you're afraid, is he playing or just being serious? So he's told you how he feels, but you haven't told him how you feel yet because you're scared. Okay. Then maybe that is that leap of faith. Maybe this is taking that blindfold off and seeing things for how they really are, not how you think they're going to be. Does that make sense? So yeah, I mean, the Fool card is all about starting on a new journey, but also remembering where you've come from, which is that thing of looking behind. So maybe it is time to have that blindfold lifted, Enchantress, and to actually move forward into a slightly different life. Yeah. You haven't told him, and he keeps chasing to find out. Well, you know, if that's the case, my darling, then I think it may well be time to, you know, be honest and put your cards on the table. Let's just say that future card. I tell you what, we'll pull you one more card. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4 cards. So we'll pull you the next card, which is the 2 of Wands. Okay, so we've got a 2. So this is an outcome card. We've got the 2. Now it's reversed, but it is the 2 of Wands. Wands is all about your security, your sense of self, your sense of like who you are and where you belong in the world, your sense of confidence, all of that. And the 2s represent relationships. So this is reversed, which means it's going to take you a little bit for you to feel comfortable to open up and to all of that. But the 2 is very representative of a relationship. It really is. And when we're looking for an outcome card, that is a really good outcome card in terms of, you know, moving forward in that way. So I think absolutely, Red Caps put it there, be brave, Enchantress. I think absolutely, my darling. You know, personally, the cards are saying that it's time to take the blindfold off, to have that authenticity, even though it's going to be scary. The cards are very much saying that. And if he's told you how he feels, and if you've got those feelings, then, you know, it may well be time. I don't know. Again, you make all of your own decisions in your life. You absolutely make all of your own decisions in your life. But at the end of the day, my darling, if you never tell him how you feel, you haven't got any chance of being together, because, you know, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like if you're hungry and you never say, I'm hungry, then no one's ever going to give you a plate of food, are they? You've got to say, I'm hungry, for someone to say, oh, do you want some food? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I know it's a bit of a bad analogy. You know, if you've got a headache and someone's got some aspirin, they're not just going to give you an aspirin randomly. But if you say, oh, I've got a really bad head, they might say, oh, have some aspirin. You've at least got to start that conversation. And yeah, so anyway, I hope that helps, my darling, for whatever it's worth. I hope that helps. It's not so much on how he's feeling. It's all about your emotions that the cards are bringing. And all I've got to say is that too, in the future, in the outcome position, it is reversed, which means that it's not going to be like plain sailing. It's not going to be like the most fairy tale romance. But there is an element there that is going into a relationship, and it's to do with your sense of self and your sense of who you are, and to do with your sense of confidence and your self-esteem. So I think that this is very much one of those things where, you know, you are going to need to maybe take a little step out of your comfort zone. There's that saying, isn't it? If nothing changes, nothing changes. And he's not going to, like, you're not going to be able to have a relationship with the guy unless you say that you want a relationship with a guy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, how else, if he's told you that he's into you, right, and you're into him but haven't said that yet, there's only so long that he's going to wait, and only so long that he's going to, like, before he's just going to think, oh, she's really not into me. She really doesn't, she doesn't want me. In that case, he's going to lose interest. So if you are interested in him and he is interested in you, and you are both free and single and all the rest of it, you're both above the age of consent and all of that, and you are free thinking, fully autonomous adults, then go for it. The only thing you've got to lose is a relationship that you're not even in. But anyway, there you are, my darling. I know, right? I veered off the tarot there and went into full-on agony aunt mode, didn't I? Full-on agony aunt then. It was like Auntie Lisa, come and ask Auntie Lisa. Yes. So then I agree, Anita. Be brave, Enchantress. A life without risk is no life at all, which is why we are going to be doing in December, me and Rufus are going to be doing over on the other channel, we are going to be doing some taste tests of some very strange things. So one of them is some crickets. Yep, I'm waiting to see how many sins are in crickets. And the other one is some hot sauces, because I'm putting this theory to the test that since I had COVID, that my ability to taste hot, chili, those sort of things has completely gone. That's what I'm working on. Thank you, Anita. That's what I'm working on. And we're going to be doing that video in December. Anita just sent me a message saying that, Ed, your bike was vandalized. Let me just go back in the chat. I saw something coming up about third party, but I didn't know whether you'd had an accident or something. Hang on, what's this? It's a drawn-out process where the underfunded cops won't do out with 3 different camera angles. Oh, what? What? Booger, 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 booger. Booger, booger. Oh, Ed, that's terrible. Right, okay, we want some justice for Ed. Hashtag justice for Ed. Oh, bugger. Right. We want a bit of justice. We want justice for Ed, please, universe. Justice for Ed, please. Thank you very much. Hashtag justice for Ed. Wow, that's pants. That is really pants. Okay, you'll be nipping out in a bit because you're with the family. Ah, okie dokie. Go for it, Enchantress, said Kelly. You'll never know unless you take that leap. Absolutely, absolutely. Get a witch on it, Ed, says Redcap. I know. If only he knew a witch willing to do liminal work. I mean, if only. Justice is justice. You know what I mean? It's not for me to say justice. I will just trigger the universe, and the universe hopefully will do the justice thing. I don't send it. Universe sends it. Oh, look at that. Enchantress saying thank you to Afflicted, to our lovely Kelly. Thanks for motivating you. Absolutely. I know, right? Anita, I was going to say this. You need to follow your own advice. However, this is the autumn, now into winter, of the blue eyeshadow. You know what I mean? You're pushing it out there a little bit. Pushing it out there a little bit. Plenty of us floating about. I know, right, Redcap? I know. Join the coven. By the way, if you would like to become an official weirdling, which is the name that we have here on this channel for those that study the weird, there is a very simple way that you can become a weirdling. Yep, you just need to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and you are automatically a weirdling. If you ding that bell and change your notifications to all, then you are a super weirdling or something. I don't know. Eventually, right? Eventually, if we did, what's it called? Patreon and things like that. Eventually, that's what everybody would be called, the weirdlings, wouldn't they? They would be like the weirdling coven. Absolutely. That's what it would be. So yes, a couple of people I've seen in the chat as it was flickering up were asking where Kirsty is. Kirsty has just moved house, hopefully. She's radio silent at the moment because, in fact, this is how I know she's moved house, right? She's moved house because if she hadn't done, she would have had access to the phone to be able to ring me last night going, it didn't happen. So yeah, so she would have moved house and she will be back in touch with people in a week or two's time, actually, once all her internet and everything else is reconnected. So yes, all of that needs to happen. But Kirsty is finally moving into the house that she was supposed to have moved into a month ago. And oh, it will be a story one day. It will be a story. Right, so our lovely Anita has reopened the question list. If you are wanting a tarot reading, you need to come across to the YouTubes and put the word question followed by your question, and it will get picked up by our lovely Anita and passed to me over on can't even speak, over on an Instagram group that only I can see. Right then, so I've got 2 more readings. Jaswinder Bala, are you here, Jaswinder? If so, can you please say hello in that there chat if you are still here? Come and say hello. While you're doing that, oh, there we are. Jaswinder's here. Fabulous. Hello, Jaswinder, my friend. Right, before you do, I just need to say reading requests are now open, but readings are for entertainment purposes only. You do need to be 18 years or over to get a tarot reading. Please ask one question in the chat, starting with the word question. Medical or legal questions cannot be answered. And as I always say, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. If you are looking for medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice, please seek out a professional in those areas. That is really important. Right then, Jaswinder is here, so I am going to do your swoopy, swoopy, swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. That makes sense. For the timestamp. This is for Jaswinder. There we are then. So I have your question up in front of me. Jaswinder Bala would like to know, what are Johan or Johan's next actions towards you? You barely get any communication from him. Wow. Okie dokie. So then, Wispy, we are looking. Oh, before I do, thank you very much, Neil. Yep, we want a little bit of a nudge for our lovely Ed, particularly if we could also do a little bit of an abundance as well, because I think Ed is deserving of some good luck. I think Ed is very much deserving of some good luck right now. So a little bit of an abundance working in tandem with the justice, that would be lovely for the witches out there. If you could, you know, I'm not making any suggestions, far be it from me to advise any other witches, but a little bit of justice with a little bit of abundance, maybe with a little sprinkling of general luck and an upturning of things, that would be nice, maybe. I don't know. Anywho, find your own red cap, Ed, find red cap, and all of you, put it on the Authentic Army page on their Facebook, and we'll sort something. We'll do a little working or something. We'll organise something. The E-Coven is coming. I know, right? I know. Me and Kirsty have talked about it already. The E-Coven is coming. I can feel it. I can feel it. Anyway, Jaswinder, back to your reading, my darling. You are next. So then, Jaswinder would like to know, Wispy, what is Johan or Johan's feelings towards Jaswinder, and what are his next actions going to be, because Jaswinder currently gets barely any communication from him. So what are we looking at? Let's have a little look see. It is Neil, it is time for some Batman. Right, we've had a card flip. In fact, we've had two cards flip. Okay, one after the other. So we've got the Knight of Wands and the Star, which are your modifiers. Now then, Jaswinder, I need to ask... I didn't really hear that squeaky toy then. That's our puppy, our lovely Eddie, who just stood or bit his squeaky toy in the background. That was really loud. That was funny. Right then, so we have let me just put that one down. We have the Knight of Wands and we have the Star. Now, the Knight of Wands is a suit that is all about your self-esteem, your confidence, where you belong in the world, right? But the Knight is very, very immature teenager energy, that rebellious energy. So this is telling me that Johan's either very young or very young acting, very immature acting. Now, the Star is coming up as a modifier, is about wishful thinking. Now, this is about that kind of, you know, oh, I wish he'd sort himself out. I wish he'd do this. I wish he'd do that. It's not about the sort of wish where you set a goal and aim towards it, or you set a dream and you work towards, you build your dream. This is about that thing where you go, oh, you know, I wish I could lose 5 stone whilst you're sat there eating a McDonald's. Oh, I wish I could save money whilst you're buying a load of stuff in the Black Friday sales. You know what I mean? It's all of that. So this is very much talking about... Belinda's there's a get well soon for Belinda. Are you Belinda, if you've been poorly, I'm so sorry, I haven't seen it in the chat. I'm so sorry if you've been poorly. I hope you are well, my darling, and I hope you have a lovely week, and we'll see you very soon. Okay. Yeah, sorry if you're feeling poorly. I keep seeing my breath. It's that cool. It's that cool in here. Yeah. Good night, Belinda. I hope you're feeling better soon. If you've been poorly, sorry about that. I hadn't picked up on that. Only a cold, right? Okay, my darling. Jaswinder is saying that he's 23. Well, is he a mature 23? Like, you know, is he one of those 23-year-olds you see on telly where they've got their own business and car and their own house and they're like, you know, got a degree in this, that, and the other, and they know what they're doing? Or is he the sort of 23 where he's still sat on the sofa playing Minecraft? She says being 45 and like sitting on the sofa playing Minecraft. But you know what I mean? Is he an old 23, Jaswinder, or is he a young 23? Is he immature? Because this would be saying that he's quite immature. Thank you very much, immature. Yeah, that's what I was saying. This is telling me he's immature. That's what this is telling me. Right. So we're going to cut the deck. Let's have a look. So then, right. In the past position, now this is telling me that looked like it was bending there. It's just because of the way the lens goes. This is telling me that sorry, I should introduce the card, shouldn't I? It's the 9 of Cups. This is telling me that you are somebody who is sometimes, how can I put it? I think you've experienced a lot of loneliness, put it that way, right? I think you've experienced a lot of loneliness. And I think you're someone who, you know, even sometimes you can be around, oh my God, this sounds so vague, but you're going to know exactly what I mean, Jaswinder. Like, you can sometimes be in a massive group of people and you are totally like you don't have a connection with anyone. Like you don't feel that connection. But with Johan, you feel that connection. You feel that you've got that spark, even if it doesn't seem to be reciprocated. Does that make sense? And that's what this is telling me, because I always think this is Jesus at the party when he's been left to do the washing up. Everyone else is gone. This is the Last Supper. And he's like, right, I'll get the bin bags then. Right, yep. I guess I'm doing the washing up today. Is that feeling of, oh, it sounds like him. Right, okay. So he's, in that case, that does change things. If this is all about him, if this is where he's sitting, which to be fair is what you were asking in the first place, then yeah, this will be an explainer as for why he's kind of acting the way he is. If he's not used to being around people and making connections, then he's not going to know and particularly understand how to communicate that. So if you have feelings for him and he's got feelings for you, then he's not necessarily going to be able to actually say what's going on. Now, one of the reasons I'm saying this as well is because in the present position, we've got the Knight of Swords. Now, knights are very much this rebellious teenage energy. Now, I know you said that he's 23, but he's acting quite immature. So this will be that. And the Swords is the trouble and strife suit. So Swords is all about challenges, clashes, and things like that, right? So what this is saying is that basically at the moment, he is feeling quite, kind of, I think he's feeling completely befuddled. I think that's the only way to put it. I think he's feeling like he doesn't know what to do. You're saying that his communication is a bit crap. I think he's absolutely communication is crap. Like the Knight of Swords is putting up issues, putting up barriers for the sake of it, putting up challenges for the sake of it, or to keep people at arm's length. Does that make sense, Jaswinder? It's like he's actively trying to he doesn't want to push you away, but he doesn't know how to bring you close. Does that make sense? Now, in the future position, we've got transition reversed. Now, transition is a card about change. This is massive change. And this is change because of the reversal here. This change is literally something that is unexpected or unwanted right now. Now, this could be that he is going to be forced into change. And this is quite the transition card never comes up when it's a simple thing, okay? So it's never like, oh, he's just going to wake up tomorrow, read an inspirational, poster on his way to work, and then go, oh, actually, I'm going to go and get some flowers and everything else. It's not that. Like, this period of change is a massive one. It's almost like, he's going to be fundamentally shifting a lot of his views, and a lot of his opinions will change or will seem to change in the coming months. Now, whether that's because he's finding some confidence or whether that's because he's literally kind of like trying to be something that he's not. Because again, we've got this wish card here and we've got the Knight of Wands. So the Wands is confidence and the wish card is something that he's not. Does that make sense? Let me pull you one more card for this outcome. Right, okay. The Four of Pentacles. So again, there's something here about keeping his feet on the ground whilst also then reaching for the stars. Mixed metaphors, but it is literally about keeping your feet on the ground even though you are reaching, and he's reaching for the next levels. He's shying insecure at times. If this is related to him, then yeah, he will be shy because he's not used to having those people around him and that kind of, I would say, like when I grew up, I was the nerd. I was the weird one. I was the one that was into things that other people weren't. You know what I mean? So like I was a group of, I think, 4 people in the entire school that knew anything about wrestling, like WWE wrestling, because most people didn't have access to it because it wasn't on the main telly at the time when I was growing up, because I'm that old. And so for me, I had a next door neighbor, and my next door neighbor was able to get it. So I watched it there. So I watched it. I knew kind of the storylines, and there was literally about 3 or 4 of us. So the people that at school that were into wrestling, like handful. The rest of the school talking about football and pop stars, and I did pop stars as well, but it would be wrestling. So that basically, you know what I mean? So I never had a massive experience with like a whole bunch of people and massive teams, because my teams were very small. My group of friends was very small. As an adult, my group of friends is very small. And again, it's that thing where if he hasn't had people around him, if he's grown up sort of a bit like me, a bit like a nerd, then he probably doesn't have that same experience. Does that make sense? And then as an adult, he won't be able to necessarily share that unless he's done some work. So I think it is going to be one of those things, Jaswinder, my darling, where I think, you know, you're probably not going to find that he will overnight change and suddenly declare his love for you and all of that. I think it is something that you are going to have to take the lead on if you want to know. You're going to have to be the one that asks the questions. Does that make sense? A bit like with me and Rufus. Like I can say to Rufus, I can go like, do you want a tea or coffee? And I go, yeah. I say, which? Oh, I don't mind. And he wants a drink, but he like, that's just, and I can ask him 100 times and I'm always going to get that same answer unless he's really thinking, oh, I'd love a coffee. You know what I mean? And I think for some people, that's just how they are. And for your fella, for Johan, if he's not, you know, if he's not able to communicate in that way, then he may never be able to communicate in that way. Does that make sense? I don't even know whether that's making sense tonight, everybody. I don't even know where my head is. It's a very strange energy in this room tonight. I don't know whether you're picking up on it. But yeah, anyway, Jaswinder, I hope that makes sense. You're blunt too. Well, then tell him, just say, I need you to do some things. You asked him to hang out next week and he didn't respond. It could be that he's scared. It could be that he doesn't know how to respond, or it could be that he's not into you. Let's be honest. It could be that he's not that into you. And maybe just sort of say that to him. Maybe just say, look, I'm really confused. Like, I'm getting some mixed signals. Are you into me or not? You said that you're blunt, right? You said that you're blunt, right? So I've told the story before, and no doubt it will get told again. But Rufus, when we went for a date, our first ever date was in a coffee shop, right? And I didn't even know it was a date at first. I thought that he wanted to ask my opinion about some stuff. And so we're generally chatting. We went for coffee, he invited me out for coffee. So we were chatting, having a nice cup of coffee. And I'm talking about all this other stuff going on in his life. And, you know, do you want help with this? Do you want help with that? I'm talking about all this other stuff. And he literally said to me, right, yeah, anyway, so then, do you fancy a quickie? Because he needed to be that blunt, because he literally needed for me to like go, I could almost see him now going, shut the hell up, Lisa. I want to, like, this is a date. This isn't like, I'm not asking for some advice. I'm not asking for assistance. This is a date. Shut up. And there's me whittering on as I do, going, you know, and if you need to talk to me, you can talk to me. And I think, and all of that. And actually, he was into me. But it took him doing that for me to then go, oh, okay, this was a date. Yes, actually, that sounds like a plan. And sometimes, Jaswinder, I think you do need to be that blunt in life. Sometimes you do need to just be like, are you into me? Because if you are, then that might help. He's super busy, all about his work and school. Well, then maybe he just literally doesn't have time. Maybe he doesn't, my darling. But again, I think you need to ask the question, because either way, I think tonight's all going to be about this, isn't it? I can see a theme going. I think tonight, yeah, I think if you ask him, just tell him, just say, I'm into you. Are you into me? Like, it's okay if you are. I can deal. Like, we can make, I know you're busy. We can schedule this, but at least I need to know. And if you're not, that's okay as well. We can still hang out as friends. And like, I'm not going to do a runner, but I just kind of need to know. That's what I would do personally. That's what I would do. Anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. Probably not the answer that you wanted tonight, but it is the only answer that the cards could give. Red Cap, your friends used to tell people you're autistic, even though you're not, because you have no filter. That's one way of doing it, my darling. That is one way of doing it. I've got a couple more questions in, so we're going to crack on in a second. I do have a filter. It's in the coffee machine. It's what stops the grinds going through. I know, right? I know, right? Wowzer. Have we only done 2 readings tonight? Time is doing that weird time dilation thing where I don't understand how time works. So, but I need to be finished at like 2 minutes to 9 tonight, because Star Trek Discovery is on Pluto TV. I know, I hadn't heard of it either. It's a free thingy, and you can watch Star Trek Discovery season 4 for free, because they've taken it off blooming Netflix, which I'm really upset about. It's not on Netflix, and it's only on a Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night at 9 p.m. And I missed it Friday. I missed it last night. So I've got to watch it tonight. So I need to finish at 2 minutes to 9. So we're going to crack on for these like next 4 or 5 readings. Right then. Oh, bear with. Oh, managed to get me coffee down my chin. By the way, I can see a couple of people over on the Facebook pages. If you are watching us on Facebook, good evening, welcome. You are absolutely more than welcome to carry on watching on Facebook. But if you would like to interact, if you would like to ask a question, I do need to ask you to come over to the YouTube channel, which is just Beyond Authentic, and you will be able to, you need to finish, you need to get on that glossy website. Absolutely. You need to be able to, you need to come across to the YouTubes, by the way, so that you can ask your question, and then you need to be a subscriber. So do make sure you come and do that, and then you can ask, you can do the things on the YouTubes. Hopefully that made sense. Right then, Wispy's got the weirdest energy tonight. Pallavi, my darling, are you still here, Pallavi? If so, can you come and say hello in the chat? F Movies is free online streaming. Okay. Pluto TV is apparently too, but it's got all sorts of stuff on there. There's whole channels devoted to like Mythbusters and all sorts. It's really weird. And it's not on demand. Discovery is only on there on those programs. It's very, very weird. The code is Cyber50. Shushni, don't tell everybody. Don't tell everybody. Although I've got to say, I did look at the Glossy Box calendar. I know, right? I did. And I wasn't overly impressed. I think there were lots of deluxe sample mini sizes. So, yeah, I mean, 50 quid, £2 a day. I guess that's not bad. What's the palette? What's the like day 25 or day 24 thing? What's that? What's the good stuff? Pallavi, are you still here, my darling? Last call for Pallavi. Ding dong, Pallavi. If you are here, yep, I can see you, Jessica. Thank you, my darling. Pallavi. Oh, I like that. I like that, Red Cap. I've just seen that. You don't play no games. Unless it's Pokemon. I like that. I like that a lot. Shreya Sarkar, the list, the Huda palette. Oh, no, I did see it. Sorry, Shreya, 1 second. I did see it, neat. It's the Desert Dusk, is it? I've got a very, 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 very extremely good copy, fake. I think it's a fake. Might not be a fake. Might be a real one. I've got a really good version of that. It's either a fake or one that I picked up in TK Maxx cheap. I can't remember. So yeah, that's why I decided not to get it. So I'm not going to get the. But I want it. I want it. It's not fair. Anyway, we are. The reading list has now actually closed, Shreya. We've only got another half an hour tonight. Well, 40 minutes tonight. of being able to do readings, and I've got I've got a few in. Hang around though, because if people do drop out, then we will I may well open it up at the very end. So do hang around, Shreya, and I'll try and do that for you if we can. So this is the last call for Pallavi. Pallavi, my darling, are you here? If not, we are going to go to Jessica Ryan, who will be next. Desert Dusk at £2 a door. Though I know it's £2 a door. It's a good price, but you'll see why I don't need any more skincare when I've done the skincare video. No, that's fine, Nate. We'll crack on. You're going to be around. Thank you so much. Okay, Shreya, my darling. If, as I say, it looks like what's Lisa's star sign? Me, I'm a Gemini. Can't you tell? I am all over the shop. I've got, I mean, literally, Redcap, literally, like not just the ADHD brain, the version that used to be called ADD, but like 2 channels. One health and beauty, one witchy and weird. You know what I mean? Like there are 2 very look at what I'm wearing all the way through. I've done the video with this makeup on, wearing my lovely dusky pink, and then literally I was like, I can't go on the witchy channel not wearing black. I need some black. I need my witch colours. I can't do that. Absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. You're a Gemini Venus. I don't know what the Venus means. I don't know what that means. As much as I'm into witchcraft, we've had this discussion many a time, and I am, you know, been practicing for many, far too many years. Astrology and star signs, I am hopeless with. Hopeless. I cannot get it to stick in my head. Absolutely hopeless. Anyway, so it looks like Pallavi is AFK at the moment. So we're going to go to Jessica Ryan. So Jessica, my darling, are you here? Pop a hello in the chat. What has the start of next year got planned for you? We'll have a little look, see then. Oops, hang on a second. I've now got a screen, a thing blocking my screen on here. Hang on. There we go. Let's get rid of. How do I get rid of that? How do I get? Oh, there we go. It's gone. Thankfully. Right then, Jessica, are you here, my darling? Are you here, my darling, Jessica? I don't know whether Jessica's gone now as well. I don't know. Yes, Matt, Redcap. R. Kelly, not that one. Our Kelly, our lovely Afflicted Beauty. She's into astrology, aren't you, Kelly? You know stuff about star signs and things like that. Because I don't have a bloody clue. What? What was that eyeshadow that we was on about the other day with blue and greens in it? There is the one that I was using on the live stream. I used the James Charles Morphe palette. I used that one, which I did the blue and purple look. Blues and greens. There's the Opulence palette from Beauty Bay. That's bluey green. That's greens and purples. The bluey green, there's one by Sample Beauty. That's, I think, the Hydrograph palette, something like that. That's blue and greens. So yeah. Anyway, I've got your question up next, Jessica. So I will do that for you now. So then, Wispy, let's clear that. Let's clear. There we are. Mansi Goyl, you've got that palette too. What, the Desert Dusk or the James Charles one? So Wispy, we are asking for Jess. We are asking what next year might have in store for Jess. What has next year got in store? Early. So January 2022. We're just on the cusp of being able to see that. So what patterns are we going to see coming into play for next year for Jess? Let's have a look. No, another one, obviously at the start. I don't know, my darling. I don't know what other palettes we were talking about. Does anyone else remember? I'm not sure. There's the Wilderness palette by Beauty Bay. That I don't have that, or the Opulence yet. Blue greens. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know what I've got that would be blues and greens, to be honest. Anyway, let's have a look at your reading, Jess. Wow, money, work, that's what's coming next year. We've got, so the energy that's coming from this year into next year, we have the 8 of Pentacles. This is really good. So Pentacles is all about finances and career, right? So money and finances. This is talking about like taking in, so a lot of the work that you've done and taking this forward. So whatever it is that you've done this year, whatever, like it's time to rest is one thing. So this year was kind of like the resting energy. Does that make sense? So this year is like, okay, bit knackered, bit tired, worn out, just need 5 minutes. Whereas next year, oh, excuse me, also, yeah, some health issues. What's that about, Jess? Like some digestive type of refluxy issues, maybe. Reason I'm saying that is because as soon as I started reading, this came all a bit like, ooh, a bit, bleh, you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, the energy going into next year. This year's been about resting. Next year's about getting moving again. Because in the present, so as in like January, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight is reversed, which is saying that this is something that you are, this is, in this case, this would be seen as a warning card, okay? The Knights are those suits that go in, they go in all guns blazing, right? So they don't think of, in fact, it might not be earning money, it might be spending money. It might be spending money. There could be something at the early part of next year that you end up overspending. That is why I think this is coming up. So there's something which you are aware of. So either something you've paused financially or something financially that you have been, that you've held back on. And next year, the early part of next year is when you are going to like, it's a bit like me being on Black Friday deals on Colourpop's website at 3 o'clock in the morning going, of course I need the entire Hocus Pocus collection. Of course I do. Yes, absolutely. And lip glosses and everything that, of course, is there's like that element, right? And then this is you literally moving forward into just spending, just spendy. And then towards the end of January, we've got the Pentacles. Again, we've got the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page is youthful energy, naive energy. But if you look, this one is all about learning lessons and possibly studying. So I think in the early part of January, you are going to be maybe sucked into the January sales, something like that. But then there is going to be something towards the end of January into February where you've got some sort of education. So if you're looking at studying something, if you are looking at doing a course, if you're looking at anything like that, February, like late January, early February, that's the time to do it. Okay. So definitely have a look into that, Jess. Definitely have a look into that, because there's definitely something there in terms of finances, and that learning will help your finances, whatever that is, whatever this educational learning thing is. That is something that will help career wise. I don't know what that is. Hang on, you think it was called Obsession, the makeup eyeshadow? Makeup Obsession is I don't know what the palette might have been. It could have been one of many palettes. I've got a lot of Makeup Obsession, Jess. It could have been the Rady palette. I don't know whether it was this one, the Rady Daydream palette. I don't know. I don't know what other palettes it might have been. The only thing I can suggest, my darling, is to go and have a look, watch back on the live stream, because you can go and look back at that. So yeah, anyway, I hope that makes sense, my darling, on your reading. Right then, who's next? Mansi Goyl. Are you here, Mansi? The reading list is now closed, everybody, so thank you very much for your readings in. Mansi Goyl, are you here, my darling? If so, can you just say hello? Is this at home, the learning? It could be. It could be home learning. It could be something where you're doing like an open university course or an absent course, or it could be something that you go to do. It doesn't say that. It just says about there is a learning, there is a course here, there is some sort of educational thing. So if that's something that you're looking into, Jess, absolutely go for it. Absolutely go for it, my darling. Right then, so everybody, we have the questions are closed. I've got one that's just popped in from Facebook. Uzwa Sohail, unfortunately, the reading list is closed, and you do need to be asking questions over on Facebook, over on YouTube anyway, my darling. So yeah, if you for next time, because we've closed the listing now for tonight. Next time, if you do go and have a little look over on, thank you, Renata. If you do go and have a, okay, I've got you, Mansi. If you do have a look over on the YouTubes, then we will be able, we can't take any questions on Facebook, I'm afraid, as well. We can't take any questions on Facebook. We can only take them on YouTube. So, and the list is now closed, unfortunately, my darling. So you would need to either book a reading on fiverr.com/Beyond Authentic, or come back next Sunday for a free reading on the YouTube channel. So, so yeah. Okay, right, we've got Mansi Goyl. What does R feel about you? So let's have a little look-see then. Okay, so we're going to ask, we're going to clear. There we go. We like that. Clearing the energy. We've definitely got wispy. We've definitely got wispy. So then what does R feel for you? So wispy, this is a question from Mansi Goyl, who wants to know, what does R feel about them? Let's have a little look-see, shall we? Are we going to have a jumper? Nope, there's no jumping card, so we've got no modifier on this. As soon as I say there's no modifier, we've had a card jump. Literally, as I was saying, there's not a modifier. We've got the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords is reversed. So a modifier is a card that gives us a little bit of clarity. It's basically the filter that the reading comes through. Now, the Queen of Swords is very boss bitch energy. Okay, so I don't know whether this is you or whether this is R. I don't know. Again, I don't know pronouns or gender or anything else, Mansi. So if this is you, if this is that boss bitch energy, then this is where you are taking absolutely no prisoners. If this relates to R, then they are going to be taking no prisoners. And this will be something where they are, oh, how can I put it? They are just like, suffer no fools. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do not suffer fools gladly. This is that energy that comes through. This is that, like, how can I put it? Not grumpy, not rude, but just very assertive. Almost a Karen, but not quite a Karen. Does that make sense? So if this is you, that's one way of looking at it. Or this could be I don't know. If you can let me know in the chat if that makes sense as well. Sorry, not as well. Mansi, I can't see. I need my glasses. Mansi, if you can see, tell me in the chat whether this relates to you or R. Right, I'm going to cut the deck. Okay, we've got a low cut. And let's have a little look-see. Right then, so we have the Tower in your past position. Now, this would say that this is talking about relationships, and relationships that have ended incredibly acrimoniously, where literally everything got burnt down. It doesn't relate to what? So that doesn't help, Mansi, whether this is about you or about the other person. But this is talking about a relationship in the past which has completely been burnt to the ground. Like, it has been leveled to the ground, razed to the ground, as they say. It absolutely gone, burnt all the bridges, absolutely no going back. And it's actually something which has rocked the foundation. Now, whether this is R or whether this is you, again, I'm not entirely clear. But the Tower is a really, really, it's almost like a previous relationship was built up on an idea, but that idea was false. Like, that was literally based on a lie. So it's like somebody saying, you know, oh, I've never been married before, and actually they're divorced. Or it's like somebody saying, you know, that they are 30 when they're really 70. I don't know. But you know what I mean? It's like right at the basis of this relationship was a lie, and everything's crumbled. And that's what this is talking about. It's talking about how, like, and when I say crumbled, I mean like it's really, like it's done. Like, it completely, And what this is saying, whether this is you or R, it's like literally like everything was on this tower. Like everything was this tower. You were building everything towards this tower. Like, oh my God, this was going to be the Hearts and Flowers romance. Everything was going to be wonderful. Everything, this was all of your ambitions and everything, all of your energy was going onto this tower, which then got ripped apart and then just completely fell apart from the foundations. And this is talking about a previous relationship. So it's almost like you were wedding planning, and you know, you had the doves and you had the white dress and and everything was going along, and then it was like, oh, they're already married. And that's the past situation. So I don't know whether that's your past or ours past. Now, in the present position, we've got, and I'm not saying that exact situation, but like that level of change, right? In the present position, we've got the Seven of Wands. Wands is, and it's upright. Wands is all about your sense of self, your sense of self-esteem, self-worth, all of that, self-respect, self-confidence. So this is about how you know yourself, right? Okay. So you can take the reading then, Mansi. So the Seven of Wands is about building up a wall, a barrier, a fence, and then standing back and looking at the work that you've done. So it is very much about putting those defenses in place and about you kind of, how can I put it? It's basically you not, it's putting the boundaries in place rather than the defenses. So again, if this is about R, then they are putting those boundaries up. They are basically saying, I think this is about you. I think this is you. I don't think this is about them. I think this is about you putting your boundaries up in it, as far as the relationship's concerned. What you're willing to put up with, what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. And basically, this is you having those defenses built up where your confidence is now at a point. This is you. I'm telling you, this is you. Where your confidence is at a point where you're like, I'm not gonna go through this again. Like, I'm not going to allow this to happen. And actually, if I'm going to be with someone, it's going to be a bloody good relationship. That's kind of the thing that you are talking about. Because in the future position, what is the one card that you would want to see in a question, in a reading all about relationships? If it's a new relationship, it's the Lovers. So yeah, this is coming up in your future position. Now, what this is telling me, and again, I don't think anybody needs to be, oh, hello. Oh, hello. Hello. I don't know whether you can still hear me. Everything's gone off. Hold on. Oh, what's happening? Oh, we're back. Oh, is everything? I don't know whether you could hear me through that. Like things just changed. Right. Okay. I'm still here. Anyway, my video's gone, but I'm back. It's fine. It's all good. So yeah, the Lovers is the card that you want to see. So basically, if this is you, if you and I are basically in a relationship or about to have a relationship, then that is boding very, very, very well. The Lovers card, if you're friends, then it could be that you're going to take that next step forward. If it's you know, if you've been dating, then it's looking like you are going, that's going to progress into something else. The Lovers is a phenomenal card to come up in a relationship reading, because it is literally saying that you are going to be lovers. You know what I mean? It's like moving forward in a relationship. So that's really positive if that's what you want, Mansi. Anyway, I hope that makes sense, my darling. I don't know whether it does. I don't know what happened in the middle there. Everything cut off, but hopefully that does make sense. And yeah, thank you so much for your question. We are going to move rapidly on. If it does make sense, Mansi, if you can just pop in the chat, excuse me, that you can take that reading or that it makes sense to you. Hopefully it does, my darling. Right, I'm just pouring out my reserve coffee. This is the one that's got the ginger in it. Oh, it's nice. It is very nice. Here we go. Here we go. I don't really can see. Look at the steam coming off my coffee. Oh, no problem. Uzwa, the readings are closed this evening, my darling. We can't do any more readings. You already asked on Facebook, and I've already said we can't do any more readings, my darling. They are closed. It is now we're finishing in half an hour, and I have 3 more readings to get through, my love. So we don't have time tonight. What you would need to do is come back next Sunday. We are live at 7 p.m. UK time here on YouTube. And then the questions will open at 7:15. So if you do want a reading, if you come over to this channel for about 7:10, 7:15 at the latest. Once the questions open, you will be able to get yourself a reading. Failing that, you can always go across to fiverr.com/Beyond Authentic and book a reading over there when they reopen later in the week. So then, next up, we've got Shreya Sarkar. Shreya Sarkar, are you here, my darling? If so, can you say hello in the chat? Oh, no problem, Mansi. No problem, my darling. I hope that things go well for you, my love. I really do. I really, really, really do. Fingers crossed. I can't do that because of my fibro. Fingers crossed, especially where the that lovers card comes in, because that's a really lovely card. Shreya is here. Fantastic. Am I saying that right, Shreya? Is that hopefully I'm pronouncing that right? Right then. So Shreya is looking for a reading. Sorry, I just need to move my legs. So what's coming up next in connection with M? This is more of a situationship but communication has improved. But the way forward, well, this is more of a situationship. Does that mean relationship? Communication's improved, but the way forward is unclear. Right. Okay. So you're wanting to know, Shreya, about your connection with M. The communication's improved, but you're not sure where to go from here. Is that right? Right. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Right then. Okay. Let's have a little look-see. Rushika, unfortunately, oh, that coffee is so nice with that gingerbread in. Rushika, unfortunately, the question list has closed for this evening. You would need to be here at 7:15 next week on Sunday evening, and then we'll be able to get your question in. Absolutely, Shreya. Right then. So, Wispy, we are looking for a reading for Shreya Sarkar, who wants to know about her relationship with M. The communication's improved, but the way forward is unclear. So can we have some clarification, please? Oh, we've had a card jump. Let's just have a little look. See what have we got? The jumped. The Ace of Pentacles jumped. Okay, so aces are all about new beginnings, new projects, and oh, sorry. Thank you. Yes, I didn't do a timestamp. Sorry. We're going to do a swoosh, swooshy, Shreya. Thank you, Anita. I forgot to timestamp. So then, Shreya, right, okie dokie. So then, Shreya, we are... Sorry, my brain just went. So yeah, so your modifier is the Ace of Pentacles. So again, this is something to do with finances or something to do with work or career, because that's what the Pentacles represents. It can sometimes represent materialism in its widest sense, okay? So it really, really can. The aces are all about new projects, brand new beginnings, brand new things, new ventures, all of that exciting thing. And so we are looking at Wispy, we are looking for information about M, how the relationship is going, communications improved, but the way forward is unclear. Let's just have a little look. See, I know I repeated myself there, but it makes sense just to clarify, just to make sure that we are asking the right question. So, okie dokie, right then. In the past position, we've got some confusion because we've got the Four of Cups. Now, it is reversed. Now, the Four of Cups is a confusing card. The reason being that this is talking about being in a situation and being offered things, but not seeing what you're being offered, if that makes sense. If I show you it this way up, it's literally saying, right, I've got these cups. Everything's fine. I've got these 3 cups now. Hang on, there we go. Look, I've got these cups. I've got these. They're there. Everything's good. And then you're being offered something and you just can't take it. But this is reversed, which means that the offer is really confusing. The offer is like, is it a genuine offer? Is it not a genuine offer? It's like, you know, the adverts you see, right? I know this is an analogy. This is going on a tangent. Bear with. you know the adverts you see when you're on Instagram and it's got that green stuff and it's like you put it on your face and then they massage it in and then you've got like this green paste. And then all of a sudden these poppy seeds appear and the voiceover says something like, by a computer voice, it says something like, cleansing your skin of impurities. The impurities come through. This doctor was banned for this discovery. Only now buy this for $7 million. You know that advert, and you know it's fake, right? And you know it makes no sense. And it is far too good to be true because it's all fake and it's all bollocks, to be fair. That's what this is saying, right? So I think that there's been a lot of confusion here. I think there's been a lot of opportunities that you can't take and kind of things being said where you're like, what does it mean? Like, what do they mean by that? Like, you know, sometimes people can say something and you're not sure whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's like they say, oh, I'm so happy for you. And you're like, are you? Because it sounds sarcastic, but you said it in a nice way. But that sounds really like, oh, are you? And you know what I mean? So it's that energy that this is bringing. And it's basically saying that, like, you may be better communicating right now. But I think there's still this barrier of, like, again, I think this evening is all about asking blunt questions. It really is. Red Cap Matt can tell you in the chat. It's about asking the questions and getting an upfront answer rather than this wishy-washy around the houses type thing. Because I think that that's going to be the problem. That is going to be, above all, that is going to be the thing that is stopping you moving forward. Now, in the present position, we've got the Magician. This is a fantastic card, Shreya. This is about you. This isn't about M. This is about you having the tools at your fingertips to shape your world, okay? So what this is telling me, again, is that you have an opportunity here. You have the opportunity to decide how to move forward. And it's almost like if M isn't sure about how to move forward, then it's down to you to say, do you know what? I think we're going to do this and we're going to do this and this is what we're going to do and we're going to, you know what I mean? It's like you've got that position, you've got that magic is literally here. The Magician has all of the tools of the tarot deck. So there is the sword, the wand, the disc and the cup all on this table. He's got his glowing, this corner, this glowing magic wands. He's got the infinite energy symbol. It's literally talking about having all of this ability. What you dream right now can become reality. And I don't mean dream as in, oh, I mean, what your goal, like if you can envisage it, it can happen. This is the time to make things happen. It's the time to take control and to mold the universe, your universe, as you see fit, right? So if you want a relationship with this person, it's going to be on you again. It is absolutely going to, this seems to be the theme of the evening, doesn't it? Like it is going to be on you. You are the Magician here. You are the one that has that ability. Now, there is a slight caveat to this because the Magician can also be seen as a manipulator. Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Quite often the word manipulator, you go, oh, that's really bad, but a manipulator is just somebody who nudges things in a direction. So you could argue that a priest is a manipulator, or well, you could argue that very much so, but is a manipulator of their flock because they will try and keep them on, you know, the path that they determine. You could argue that a counselor is a manipulator for trying to stop people throwing themselves off bridges when they're in crisis. You know what I mean? So just because somebody's a manipulator, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Manipulation is not always a negative. A doctor is a manipulator because they are trying to save your life. You know what I mean? When you're on the operating table with a heart attack, their manipulation is what's going to keep you alive. And it's that we're talking about. Now, in your future position, we've got the 9 of Wands. This is about, again, this is about you. I don't think it really matters what M feels for you. I really don't think it does, because I think this is really about you. Because again, the 9 of Wands is about taking this element of self-control, self-worth, self-confidence, and you building on this, building on your foundations that you're putting into place and building yourself up and empowering yourself. And again, I think that it feels really, really strange that on a weekly basis we get themes, and I don't know whether that is the universe sending me these themes or whether this is something that different people need to hear. I've really got no idea why the questions come in a kind of pattern, but this is really talking, Shreya, about you being in a position where you don't need him. Like, I don't need no man, you know what I mean? Or partner, woman, whatever, whoever it is, or I don't know their gender. And it is talking very much about you being self-contained, and I think this is what this is saying as well. This is about you being self-contained and self-fulfilled. So whether or not you're in a relationship with them, you're happy. And if you are in a relationship with them, then it means you can move forward in a really positive way, arm in arm and hand in hand, not necessarily in each other's pockets, but just together. Does that make sense? Like, as partners, where you're walking together side by side, you're not the same person. So you've got a life and they've got a life, but you're living it together. You're choosing to live it together. But I think with this being here in the present position, this is saying that it's down to you to decide what you want to do. It is literally down to you, my darling. And I think you're going to have to either make the first move, or not necessarily the first move, but you're going to have to either make that move, or you're going to be the one that's going to say, look, if we're going to be together, we want to do this and this. These are my rules. These are my boundaries. These are my guides. Like, we'll do this, or we'll do this, or nothing else. Hopefully that makes sense. The best part is you've been seeing the signs that are pushing you to strengthen your own foundation first. That is literally what the 9 of Wands is. Have I just shuffled it back into the deck? Let me have a look. I've just put it back in the middle of the deck somewhere. Here we go. The 9 of Wands. It is literally what this is. Look. Let me take your comment off the screen. Right? Look. This is the solid foundations. This is this brick wall. So you are able to build all of these like structures. So you build your confidence, you build your sense of self, your awareness on a solid brick foundation. So that is absolutely talking about that. You do need to strengthen your own foundation first. And you claim this message. Fantastic, my darling. Absolutely fantastic. You don't know why you got Taming the Beast on your mind. I mean, if M's a beast, go for it. You know what I mean? I'm saying nothing. Tame the beast, just be careful for the bite. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, I'm glad you could take that, Shreya, my darling. I've got no idea. My brain has just done a time dilation, time blindness thing. I've got no idea what I just said in any of that reading. No idea at all. So... hopefully that made sense. I just was in the zone. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Right then, last one we have Shrrutii. So are you still, is that the last one? Have I got another one in? Shrrutii, I believe. Pallavi, are you still around? Because if Pallavi is still here, we'll try and do Pallavi as well. Shrrutii is definitely here. I've seen Shrrutii. Hopefully that helps, Shreya. What's that say? Now get building that foundation. Absolutely. It is time to lay the foundations. Absolutely. Right then, Shrrutii. Thank you very much, my dear Lisa. I loved your hindsight. This is definitely a confirmation for all that has been happening. Love and blessings to you, my dear. Thank you very much, Shreya, my darling. Same to you, my love. Shrrutii is the last one. Right, I'm going to take a mouthful of coffee, and then I will do a timestamp. So then, let me just, I tell you what, we'll pop this in for 2 seconds. Hi, I'm just popping in to remind you to hit the subscribe button and then click your bell icon, change your settings to all, that way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thank you so much for those of you that are supporting me. It really helps what I do here on the channel. Wow. By the way, can you see that was filmed before I was on Slimming World? Can you see, like, I seem to have a slightly more chiseled face now? Can you notice? I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. Hopefully it shows that I've lost a couple of stone. Right then, Shrrutii, my darling, we are going to do a time swooshy swoop, swoosh, swoop, time swoop, a swoosh, one of these. So it is time for you, my darling. Let's just have a look. Anita saying, Shreya, we are here every Sunday. You're always welcome. Absolutely. Come and be one of the weirdlings with us, Shreya. Come and join us each week and have fun and sit in on readings and things. Right then, Shruti, your question is, why is your ex-husband texting you? I mean, there's a very simple way of answering this. So, Shruti, would you like the cards to answer, or do you want me to answer? Because my answer would be, oh, he. What? He, Shruti. I'm not sure what that means. Shruti, what's your pronoun? I tell you what, what's your pronouns? Let me make sure I get this right. Shruti, he. Does that mean you are? I don't know what pronoun. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. What? For sure, Lisa, you're looking braw, lass. What? I'm looking braw, lass. Right. Okay. Not sure. Everyone rev up your engines. The universe wants action. Absolutely. Always does. Kelly, what is bra? Exactly. No idea. Shruti, you've just put your name, Shruti. Were you giggling? I'm not quite sure, my darling. Okay. Right. Oh, it means smile. Right. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I'm confused. It doesn't take a lot to confuse me. It must be said. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what it was. Right then. So, the question is, oh, hang on a second. Kelly's answered. Bra means looking good. Thank you. You also are bra. Yes, bra. Yes. Right. Okay, Shruti. So the question is, right, why has your ex-husband texting you? Now, the answer that my feisty, there we go. I'll say feisty. I was looking for a word that wasn't a sweary word, but there we go. We'll say feisty. So my feisty self would say, why don't you just text him back and ask him what he wants? Like, that's on the mundane level. Like, ask him, what do you want? Why are you messaging me? Like, you're an ex for a reason. What do you want? But we'll ask the cards. Okay, we'll ask the cards. I'm not sure how much insight they're going to be able to give you, but we will certainly ask the cards. So then, Shruti would like to know what their ex is texting, or why their ex is texting. We've had a card jump. It's the Knight of Wands reversed. Okay, so this is telling me the wands are the trouble and strife. No, sorry, it's not at all. Wands are the suit all about hang on a second. What is that? Bra or sprash? I can't. Adjective, Scottish, fine, good, or pleasing. It was a broad day. Thank you. I'm confused. My brain has just gone off on a right tangent. But anyway, right. So then, Shruti, this is saying, so the Knight of Wands. Wands is all about your self-confidence, your self-esteem, how you see yourself, how you know yourself to be, right? So the Knight of Wands is immature energy. This is the energy that is unsure of yourself. Vulnerable is the wrong word. Like, perhaps easily used, not very much, not very confident, not very assured, right? So that is what this card is talking about. And this is coming up as a modifier, which is basically saying that you are like whatever, like whether you divorced him or he divorced you. I've got a feeling that you divorced him. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Like, whatever he did, it's oh bloody hell, right? Yeah, it's still affecting you, and it's still causing you to be to have some issues and to feel like crap, right? And it's that thing, Shruti, where I think you're fine, everything's fine, and then he drops you a message and it's like the world drops out from underneath you again. It's like everything feels shit and crap and crud. Everything just like literally, it's like your day's going absolutely great. You got the text, and then right then you were back in that crappy relationship, back in that crappy point. Does that make sense? Yeah, does that make, hopefully that makes sense. Right, let's have a little look see. And oh, right, so we've got 3 cards. All of them are reversed, which means this is not a good situation. The 9 of Cups, the Jesus card again, upside down. Look, lonely Jesus. So we've got this one coming up in the past position. So this is saying perhaps it's a glorified booty call. Perhaps he's just looking to try and, you know, make a contact because he's feeling lonely or nostalgic for a situation. We've then got the world upside down, which means that he's feeling like he's lost out, he's lost his world, he's feeling like he's lost control over the world, he's lost all of those opportunities. So if I think does that make sense? It was a mutual divorce. His message reminds you about past. Absolutely, because he's feeling all like, oh, I'm not with anyone now and everything's crap, and oh, even though it's that thing. Do you know that thing where some people are like, they don't want you, but they don't want to be with you, but they don't want to be without you. Does that make sense? It's like they're like, do you know what? I'm done. I'm not interested, but I'm going to keep you dangling on a hook because actually it's not that thing of they don't want you, but don't want anyone else to have you. It's that thing of they don't want you, but they also kind of, you know, they want someone. And it's like, well, this is what it is. This is what it is. It's not that they don't want you. It's that they want anyone. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like, does that make sense? Like, I don't know how to put it. It's literally like you could be anyone, and they're messaging you because you're the nearest person to them and the last sort of relationship. And it's an easy, again, I don't know why I keep coming back to booty call. I don't think it is a booty call as in they're just ringing you to hook up or just messaging to hook up. But I think for some people, it's easy to kind of, like, it's easy to go back to an ex because you've already got history. It's easy to go back to a situation you've been in because you're already in that situation. Does that make sense? And so when you're feeling a bit lonely or vulnerable, you kind of go back to what's comfortable, even if you know it's not good for you. Does that make sense? So it's like if you're for me, it's like if I'm feeling a bit crappy about myself, I'll go and eat a cake. Like, I shouldn't go and eat a cake, but I will go and eat, or I used to before Slimming World, like I would go and eat a cake or go and have a pizza, like a giant pizza or something, because that was my pattern. That's what you fall back on, is those old patterns. And I think that's definitely something to bear in mind. Now, I think he's definitely feeling that he's lost his world. He's feeling a little bit lost out in the universe, to be fair. And then in the future, we've got the King of Swords. So he's still going to be problematic. Swords is the trouble and strife suit. Swords is the suit that tells us about issues and challenges. And I think that this is going to be one that he is still going to be causing you some problems, particularly if it's talking about, like, if you're in a emotionally vulnerable place. Does that make sense? It's like you may well have moved on. You may well have been, like, mentally, you may well be sort of over it, but emotionally, he's still got that. He knows what buttons to press, and I don't mean in the good way. You know what I mean? He knows how to wind you up. He knows how to get a reaction from you, and it's up to you whether you allow him to do that. But I think he's going to be problematic in the future. My just from what these are saying, my advice is, like, my feeling is that he's feeling very, very, very sorry for himself. Yeah, he's just feeling sorry for himself and a bit hard done by, and a bit like, oh, the universe is treating me so badly. I don't deserve this. Oh, and he's contacting you because it's an easy way out. I think that makes sense. He doesn't allow you to talk to other boys now. Tell him to fuck off. Tell him to do one. He's your ex. He isn't your current. He isn't your future. He's your ex. He gets as much choice in who you date as you get to choose whether he has ketchup or mayonnaise on his chips. You know what I mean? You don't get to choose that. He has no right to say it. God, that's really wound me up. Shrrutii, you can talk to whoever you want. You can talk to them. You can go and sleep with them. You can go and have a huge 5, 10, 20 person orgy. You can all get naked together in a hot tub and stay there for 48 hours enjoying each other's carnal delights. It's got nothing to do with him. Or you can go and study, you know, Bible practice together. It's got nothing to do with him, what you do. Literally, he's your ex. That's it. Done. Cut. Tie is cut. That's it. Cut the cord. Go. Bye. See you later. Done. He's got no control, no say, no nothing. So if he's messaging, it's because he's feeling crap and he's feeling vulnerable. He does not in any way, shape or form want you. Yeah, absolutely. Redcap just says, Jesus wants that booty. Well, no, I think he is. When I kept saying booty call, when that kept sticking in my head, I think it may well be that that's what he's after. He just wants to get with you to get with you, if that makes sense. And yeah, I would just tell him to go do one. I would tell him absolutely, fuck off. You're my ex. I ain't doing this no more. Like, you had your chance. It's over. You had your chance. You blew it. Yeah, all of that. That is absolutely what I would say, my darling. That is absolutely what I would say. What? Jesus wants that booty. That got blocked. Oh, well, there you go. Anyway, hopefully, Shrrutii, my darling, that makes sense. But what I would absolutely say is tell him to do one. If he can't tell you who you're allowed to talk to, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. No booty call. No, unless you want one. You know, if he was a good lover, let's be honest. I know it's a Sunday evening here in the UK. I don't know where, like, people in different time zones, it could be Monday or Saturday where you are, depending on which part of the world you're in. But at the end of the day, if he was a really good lover and that's all it is, and he's going to float your boat and tickle your pickle and make you have a nice smile on your face, and you go back just for that, and there's nothing else, no other strings attached, then why not? If that floats your boat, you know, if that's what you're into as a grown-ass adult, you can go and do that. Absolutely. But equally, if it's just him wanting to get his end away, then if you're not interested, you're not interested. You don't have to do that at all. And if you want to go and talk to a boy stood next to him, you can do, because it's your bloody life. Oh, absolutely, Renata. He tries to stay the control freak. Absolutely. You should be chilling out, but the live has made you a bit silly. It always makes me silly as well. It always does. Thanks, love, for your advice. Yes, I will take control. No booty call. No. No, dear, he treated you like nothing. He kicked you out of the house. I was left without a house, no income. Oh, absolutely, then. Absolutely. Right. He wants to run after you now. Oh, lots of words. All of the words want to come out of my mouth all at the same time, and none of them are good, and lots of them are sweary. So we're going to end it there. I would tell him to go and do one. Absolutely, Shrrutii. Go and do one. Just no. Absolutely. No. Big world of no. Hell no. No. Anyway. That is it from today. Relationship advice with Auntie Lisa. Come and ask Auntie Lisa. Tell Auntie Lisa all your problems, and I'll tell you to bin him. Bin him. Absolutely, Redcap. Bin him. Afflicted. My scram was well tidy, mate. Mate, I don't know what that was. My accent is terrible. You see, as soon as I try and do a Scottish, then it really does do a Scottish. But I can't do it. Can I do a Scottish? Thanks for your insights. You'll take your advice and live your life happily. Absolutely. Live your life for you, my darling. Live your life for you. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Kelly. Enjoy Star Trek. I know, right? Star Trek is starting in 1 minute. I'm going to go and do it. In the bin, cat food on top. Cat food, cat litter tray, dirty nappy, gone off milk, all of that. Put him in the bin. Put all that on top, and leave him out for the bin men. That's what I would do. Deborah Barger, I've just seen your message. You are on that there Facebook. However, we've closed, and B, you need to come over to YouTube to ask questions, my darling. But yeah, thank you so much for watching us on the Facebooks. But that is it, everybody. Renata is off in a minute to watch The Great. I don't know what that is, Renata. I'm off to go and watch Star Trek Discovery on Pluto TV. It's a thing, apparently. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for coming in tonight and for asking your questions. Thank you to everybody for taking part. Thank you, as ever, for the wonderful moderators, the lovely Kelly and Anita tonight, who have kept the chat lovely and civil, and also unblocked Red Cap's messages, because, you know, that Red Cap needs a spanking every now and again. And Anita's the one to do the spanking. So, yes. As she says there, thanks to all the Weirdlings for joining this evening. We love chatting to you all. We absolutely do. Like, it's such a wonderful community, this. It really is. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And yes, as Kelly says there, look, come and join me on my lifestyle channel for a coffee and catch up on Thursdays, 11 a.m. over on Beyond Authentic Health and Beauty on the YouTubes. It's all about coffee and makeup. I will be playing around with a makeup palette, putting some looks on, some products on my face, like some lovely makeup, whilst we chat and generally put the world to rights. So if that sounds like something you'll be into, come and join me over there on a Thursday morning. But there we go. That is it, everybody. Oh, it's about Catherine the Great. Now that sounds interesting. Is it on the BBC? Because we don't watch the BBC, because we don't have Oogie Books. We don't have normal telly. So yeah, hence going to watch Star Trek Discovery on Pluto TV. Anyway, but that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for a lovely evening. I will see you all again next Sunday for some more tarot readings here on a Sunday session. And yeah, get those hands in the air like you just don't care. We're going to give a little wave, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.